Learning activity number 6, fire safety. Importance of fire safety. Putting a fire prevention plan in place can significantly reduce the extent of damage that a fire can cause and help to avert one from breaking out in the first place. And a fire emergency evacuation plans details how you and your staff throughout the building can exit in a safe and appropriate manner. Fire. Fire putting a fire prevention plan in place can significantly reduce the extent of damage that a fire can cause and help to avert one from breaking out in the first place. Fire emergency evacuation plan details how you and your staff throughout the building can exit in a safe and appropriate manner. A burning sensation in the body. Fire triangle tetrahedron. Heat, fuel, and oxygen. Chemical chain reaction. Oxygen, smooth air supply. Interrupt reaction. Heat is cold material. Fuel, remove fuel resource. Relevance of fire triangle in extinguishing fire. Oxygen, heat, and fuel are frequently referred to as the fire triangle, and in the fourth element, the chemical reaction, and you actually have a fire tetrahedron. The important thing to remember is to take any of these four things away, and you will not have a fire or fire will be extinguished. Five different classes of fires. Class A, solid materials such as wood or papers, fabric, and some plastics. Class B, liquids or gas such as alcohol, either gasoline or grease. Electrical failure from appliances, electronic equipment, and wiring. Class D, metallic substances such as sodium, titanium, zirconium, and magnesium. Class K, grease or oil fires specifically from cooking. Class A fires, ordinary fires. Class A fires is the most common of five different classes of fires. They occur when common combustion materials like wood, paper, fabric, trash, and light plastic catch fire. These accident fires are ubiquitous across a variety of industries, so it's recommended to have adequate protection against ordinary fire in addition to other condition-specific fires. Despite being ordinary, don't rule this class of fire as low risk. If there is an abundance of fuel present, these fires can intensify quickly. It's best to put out a Class A fire quickly before it spreads using water or ammonium phosphate. Class B liquid Class B fires, liquid and gases. Class B fires involve flammable liquids and gases, especially fluids like petroleum, petroleum-based products such as gasoline, paint, and kerosene. Other gases that are highly flammable are propane and butane, which are common cause of Class B fires. The best way to deal with these types of fires is smothering them and removing oxygen using from a CO2 fire suspension equipment. Class C fires, electrical fires. Electrical fires fall under Class C are common in facilities that make heavy use in electrical equipment but can occur in a wide range of industry. Example for data center might be an obvious risk area for Class C fires. They must have safeguards in place to deal with electrical fires. Construction sites are another common Class C fire risk. Electrical power tools or appliances used for cooking can cause spark to ignite combustible materials and intensity rapidly. All buildings with bad wirings or space heaters present more concern. Electrical fires requires non-conductive materials to extinguish the flame, so water alone is not a good solution. Facilities with sensitive equipment may prefer clean agent suppression because it won't leave residue or damage electrical equipment. Class D fires, metallic fires. Class D fires are not as common as the other classes, but they do require special attention because they can be especially difficult to extinguish. Metallic fires involve flammable material like titanium, aluminum, magnesium, and potassium, all commonly occurring in laboratories. Class D fires cannot be addressed with water, and this can be exacerbate the fire and be potentially dangerous. Dry powder agent are the best solution for smothering the flames and limiting damage to property and people. Classic fire grease fires of cooking fires. Classic fires involve flammable liquid similar to Class B fires, but are specifically related to food services and restaurant industry. These common fires start from the combustion of liquid cooking materials including grease, oils, and vegetable and animal fats. Because they can spread quickly and be difficult to manage. Rescue fires are some of the most dangerous. Water can make a situation worse, but smothering the flames or using a wet agent fire extinguisher is effective. Now that we understand how much fire starts, we can prepare for how to fight them or better yet prevent them from happening in the first place. Prevention of fire outbreak. Avoid an attendant of careless use of candles, no open flames or allowed inside any tops universities. Keep barbecue grills at least 10 feet from the house. Never store the grill with the propane tank inside your house. Propane vapors are heavier than air and any leak of the gases would travel down to an ignition source such as a pilot light or electrical arc that would initiate an explosion that would be fatal to anyone inside the house. Do not disable smoke or CO detectors. These are life-saving devices that will give you an early warning to a life-threatening event. Carbon monoxide, CO, CO2, is an odorless, colorless, or tasteless gas known as the silent killer that is the most abundant deadly byproduct of fire. Tampering, covering, disabling the fire detection devices is a criminal offense punishable by imprisonment and fine. University disciplinary action. Do not smoke indoors. Do not leave your cooking unattended. Cooking is the number one cause of residential fires. Do not move into the sink and apply water to it. This will cause flaming oil to splash and spread the fire surrounding areas. Provision for early fire detection. Smoke detection, fire sprinklers, fire extinguisher, and emergency lighting are installed to protect you in case of emergency. Black or damaged equipment do not cannot do its job in providing early warning or suppression when the prevention of fire spreading. Closing doors to prevent the spread of fire. One of the most effective measures to prevent fire from spreading through a building and to reduce smoke damage is to ensure that all internal doors are kept shut, particularly out of the school hours or routine should be established to ensure that this is done when the school closes each day. Sealing gaps in the building structure to prevent the spread of fire. Fire can easily spread through any holes or gaps in the building structure. All pipe and service ducts and any other opening in the walls, floor, partition, and ceilings for the passage of building services should be adequately sealed with prior bracing materials in order to minimize the danger the spread of heat, smoke, and fumes. Procedures should be put in place after works are completed and ensure that contractors have sealed any gaps created by their work. Installation of additional pipes for heating and duct ventilation. Fire safety precaution. Emergency planning. You need to be prepared for an emergency such as fire. An emergency plan should clearly explain what to do in the event of an emergency. You should create a written evacuation procedure. This procedure should explain what needs to happen in the event of fire alarm being raised. For example, the location of fire alarm calls point extinguisher exits and details nominated persons along with their areas of responsibility. It's very important that you train your employees, ensure that they are familiar with the emergency plans. You should then test the arrangement in plan regularly. You should also carry out a fire drill at last twice a year. The drill will help to ensure the plan works and the people can follow it. You should correct any problems found during the drill. Fire alarms and detectors. You need to provide a method for detecting a fire quickly and raising the alarm. The warning system, then it has been set off from any points you should be clearly heard throughout the premises. It should provide enough warning for people to evacuate the building safely. Additionally, you should provide clear instruction or notices showing people how to operate and the warning system and how to respond to it. It's important all fire safety measures are maintained and regularly tested. You should test your fire alarms weekly. Escape routes. All escape routes must be easily identifiable. With instruction about the means of escape displayed, you also need to prevent instruction and training for your employees on how this. You need to ensure that there's enough exits through the building that they are in the right place. You will allow you to guarantee that in the event of a fire anywhere in the building, there is at least one free route available. The type of size of exit will depend on number of people likely to use them in the event of an evacuation. Escape routes must be adequate, illuminated, and free of any obstacles. You should do daily check out to ensure this. Evacuation of disabled people. You need to make arrangement to ensure that the safe evacuation of everybody is in your premises. If a fire risk assessment should identify the groups of people at risk, taking particular care of vulnerable groups and individuals. To help identify needs, you should create personal emergency evacuation plans when required. The PIPs should tailor the individual and should give clear explanation and evacuation procedure. For premises, there is not known who could visit us, such as hotel standard PPE can be created. Fire extinguisher. Any fire needs oxygen, fuel, heat. Different fire extinguisher will remove one of these elements to stop it. Thank you.